Have you ever thought of starting your own business and didn't know where to start? Well, you're right. You're watching the right show. I am Ingrid Paris-Hicklin, and on this show, meet Cheryl T. Grant, owner of Complete Booking Services. Her company offers financial services for various companies, from professional accounting services to maintaining accurate financial records. She provides critical consultation for startup companies. She aids small business owners in the acquisition of various local and federal certification. She holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration from Lander University, and she is the wife of the wonderful husband, Charles Grant, for 45 years. They are parents of 3 wonderful children and 5 beautiful grandchildren. Well, welcome to the show, Cheryl T. Grant.
Thank you.
So give us an overview of your business.
Well, my business, I started it 30 years ago. And in doing so, I was allowed to be a part of the West Charlotte Business Incubator. The West Charlotte Business Incubator, it housed new and existing businesses. And they did not duplicate any business that was being housed in this storage on the campus of Johnson C. Smith University in Charlotte, North Carolina. With the businesses that were there were approximately 14 different businesses, and each one had unique services that they were offering. Well, of course, mine's offered accounting and bookkeeping service. I was allowed to do bookkeeping and accounting service for the tenants that were there. Most of the tenants that were in the building, they were given or they applied for loans during that time through First Union's National Bank. They had low and existing loans for the new and existing businesses that were located in the West Charlotte Business Incubator. I was the individual that was allowed to look at the loan applications for those who had completed those, and for others who needed assistance in completing the application, I was afforded the opportunity to assist them in receiving the loans that were given or sent out from First Union's National Bank.
Wow.
And that was one aspect of the business that I started in 1991. So
Wow.
some of the other, I'm sorry.
Wow, that's amazing. Oh my goodness. So you started those business, you worked, and you said what happened in 1998?
No, that was when I first started the business, when I moved into the West Charlotte Business Incubator. And there are other services that I offer in terms of consultations for those who feel that they have a dream, and for those who they said start out in their kitchen. And they come in and talk with me about their aspects of starting their own business. Some of the some of the individuals that have come in, they've started businesses. I started working with them about 30 years ago. And I'm still doing business with those individuals who started out, some of them in the kitchen.
Oh my goodness. You bring new meaning to kitchen table planning. I'm just loving it because you started that. So what were some of the challenges in terms of starting a new business? What's some of the challenges?
Well, some of the challenges in starting new businesses is making sure that you have the tools that are necessary to start your business. I have clients from different cultures, and some who've come as far as Italy, that's here in Charlotte, and some from Africa. And some of the information that they've shared that's compatible for most companies is stating to me that once they start their business, they need to make sure that they have at least two professionals that will assist them. The first that they need to hire is a lawyer, and the next they need to hire is either CPA or an accountant. And if they start out with those two professional individuals, they should help them to move forward or supply them with the tools that are necessary so that their business can be successful.
Wow.
One of the one of the tools that I recommend highly, very highly, for individuals that are starting business is to have a business plan. Prepare a business plan, because the business plan will allow you to see where you are, and then for you to get the information that's needed to move forward, and also to make sure that your business is successful.
Wow, wow. The business plan, so key. So you and I were talking about this, and you're saying make sure you define your values. Speak a little bit about that.
In terms of the
And your
values and
and your purpose.
your purpose is most important.
Ah,
Is to find out what your passion is in life. What is it that you can wake up and be so excited about doing that you would start your way each day to work toward your doing what you love doing. For an example, I'm an accountant. I go to bed thinking about numbers, and sometimes I wake up thinking about numbers. So in doing so, especially during tax season, some of my clients mention to me, do you see numbers in your sleep? I say, no, but when I wake up, I do. So it's as if I am not working, because I feel this is my purpose for being here. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. And most of all is to make a difference in the lives of others by allowing them to fulfill their dream if in their business as being entrepreneurs.
wow. So you're doing it. And then you also said make sure you define your riches when we were speaking. What does that mean?
Well, I had mentioned to you that years ago, I was telling my grandfather when I'm probably 6 or 7 years old, that when I grow up, I'm going to own my own business and I'm going to be rich. And he told me then, he said, you can be, but make sure you put things in priority order. Believe in something or someone greater than yourself, and don't ever forget from whence you come from.
Ooh.
And if you do those things, you can be rich. So no, and yes, I am rich. I own my own company. And then in terms of assets, I've always said my family is my greatest asset. And to have love and support from my family, I have more than all of the riches of those who just focus totally on monetary monies.
So, what has been the impact of COVID-19 on your business?
Well, COVID has been wonderful for my business.
Wow. Well, that's a positive. I love how you.
It is.
That's a
It's a
positive.
blessing.
That's a blessing.
It is absolutely a positive, because
And we need to hear a positive.
I have been able to go into my office. I have not missed a beat. As a matter of fact, I'm almost as busy as I was when I started my business, where I had to do cold calling and go and talk with different business owners to find out if they had an accountant or a bookkeeper that was doing their work. Whereas now I'm in the office, and businesses owners have been calling me to help them with the PPP loans, the SBA loans, to help them. And this is the ones that I'm helping now are potential clients, because as far as my clients that I have, it's just a matter of them saying, will you email this financial statement for me? Will you do a PDF and drop it in the folder of the SBA? Just giving me permission and sharing with the individual that make the decision about the loan that I will be sending them the documents that are needed for them to apply for as well as receive the loans.
Wow.
So COVID has really worked a lot in my favor.
Wow. Wow. That's all I can say. So how did you get your business to kind of like, the catchword that they're using now is pivot. How did your business pivot?
Well, to go from one point to the other, word of mouth. Right. A lot of my clients have been very grateful and advertising and marketing per se my service. And when I say they advertise, they speak from the experience that I have dealt with them on in terms of being a professional individual, doing the best work that I possibly can. And they usually would lead them with a word of saying, if you want someone to care about your business as much as they care about their business, you want to go to see Cheryl Grant.
Ooh, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So another part about it is that, do you have like an advertising? You said word of mouth. So do you do advertising or, so if I'm a new business, how do I kind of like get people in front of people?
Well, I do have a small website and we're working on upgrading that. But on an average, I am in the Yellow Pages here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And like the other advertising, as I stated, is word of mouth.
Wow.
Well, this year, I was fortunate enough to teach a class. I taught a 4-week QuickBooks class, and that has gone extremely well. I had approximately 13 students in this class for 4 weeks.
Wow.
And from that, I am now assisting individuals that came to this class to receive grant money.
Wow.
And usually they are the director over the programs that the funds are being dispersed to. So wonderful, this week I received a call today that one of my students had received the funds that we had applied for, and she has others that are interested in coming to the office for me to do some accounting and bookkeeping service for them as well.
Wow, that is like amazing. So you really have been able to help so many. So what advice do you have for those who want to start a new business? What's your advice?
Well, my advice to them is for the business that you want to start, first of all, call on the phone and see if you could work for the particular business owners. Not that you're going to work for them, but for you to do some cold calling and to get some information from them. When I started my business, I went to company CPAs. I talked with them and shared with them, what if I could work for you? And what advice would you share with me? Because I have a degree in accounting and went up with my spiel. And some of them actually gave me some good information. I had one accountant, and it was very good, who prepared taxes. And his greatest concern was you get burnout during tax season. And he emphasized the point, don't ever underestimate your price. He said, because you're worth every dollar of work that you do for a client. That's where I made my mistake, he said. So they gave me the pros and cons of starting your own business. One individual who kind of knew where I worked before, where I worked at a bank, And they were saying the benefits of working at a bank: you get a vacation, you have health insurance, and your 401k, all of the above. He said, but when you start your business, you won't have those things. And I laughed and I said, I will.
Ooh,
Because
and you
if
laughed.
I laughed and I said, I will. If they think enough of me to put those pieces in place, I can do it for myself. And I've done that. So if you're starting a business, you can never learn too much, and you can never, ever stop doing homework, because there are changes that occur every day. So in order to stay abreast and stay on top of things, take some classes, to be CPE classes. Go back and pick up some additional information. I'm pretty fortunate, especially with my software that I use and other software. I'm able to do classes online with them so that I can know what's going on and what laws are changing to make a difference in the return of the taxes that I'm preparing for the different clients of mine with various businesses.
Wow. And that's like so key of what you're doing. So you say that, you should be interviewing other businesses to kind of get an idea.
Yes.
So when you're getting started, what's one of the challenges that you feel a business should be prepared to meet?
Okay, one of the challenges is finances. It's difficult to start a business with no funds. So one of the things that you need to do if you're working for a company and you're planning to start your business, start looking at what will it cost me for at least 3 to 5 years for this business to operate and for me to be able to maintain my expenses. And during that time, then you need to start putting some money back or getting your credit in such a way that you're able to have some money of your own and to be able to borrow some money as well. Or if you go into a partnership, but at the top of the list, do the homework for the business that you're planning to start.
Do your homework. You keep emphasizing the homework.
Do your homework.
So
you can never, ever come short if you do your homework and be prepared.
When we were talking and preparing for this interview, you said that be prepared to be alone.
Yes.
What was that about? What's that about?
Well, you have to love yourself, and you have to love to be alone, be with yourself. And if you don't love yourself, and if you become lonely and need the company of others when you first start your business, that's not a good thing. Yeah. So you have to look at it's 24 hours in everybody's day. When you start a business, sometimes it's 10 hours. So plan your day, but love yourself and enjoy being in your own company.
Ooh, that's powerful. I mean, because it really is. As you mentioned, 24 hours in a given day, and be prepared. That you have that. You got to do your homework.
Yeah, you have to do your homework. Because if you don't work, you don't get paid.
So it leads now to the next question. Who should be considering to start a business? Who are the people out there? What's the profile?
Well, the profile now is the younger generation. I have several clients that are about the age of my children, and I say the younger generation, and they are really doing their homework. They're making sure that their business is structured to accommodate whether it's a sole proprietorship, a partnership, an S Corp, a C Corp, an LLC. They do their homework well enough that when they come in for the consultation, we're communicating, we're talking. And then they have very interesting questions. I know of one individual, well, this couple who bought a franchise. And where they did the presentation to acquire the franchise, they had to go to Florida for a week to make sure that they had all of the information that was needed. So once they came back to Charlotte, they could put things in place. And one of the things that they mentioned to them is make sure you either have a CPA or an accountant. We already have the lawyers in place if you need that, but those in your state to make sure that everything is done correctly. And they kind of chuckled and they said, well, we have that, we have an accountant already. So once they came to the office, and then they have friends that did the exact same thing and was having questions of what's the advantage of a sole proprietor as compared to a partnership? What's the advantage of an LLC as compared to an S Corp or a C Corp? They had very good questions. And the most interesting thing with these individuals, the information that they received from me, as well as them doing their homework,
Yes.
they put it into place. So this year, I think this is 5 years that I've done consultation with them. I've prepared their taxes, and they are all moving forward and doing an excellent job. Not saying that my older clients, and I have some of those who've been with me since I started my business, they're kind of getting to the retirement age. So, but as I said, I'm proud of all of them, and I'm extremely proud that they allowed me to be the accountant and to do the work for them.
Wow, how inspiring. So, the advantages and disadvantages of owning your business. I'll let you give us a couple of thoughts on that.
Okay. Well, the advantage of being owning your own business is you're your own boss. And it's determined on whether it will succeed or fail. But if it fails, just know that you are now being shown maybe there's a different approach to what you need and how you need to do things. Because failure sometimes is not where you pack your bags up and then go back on the phone or do a resume and say, well, it didn't work and I need to work for someone else. No, it means that you need to do some additional work. And if it's your purpose, your passion, and what you need to do, you'll start looking for the answers to the questions. That's as far as the advantage, and that's the way I saw it in terms of starting my own business. The other thing, with having your own company, you can kind of regulate at some point the hours that you need to work. You can have a less stress. I do, because if things go wrong, I don't have anyone else to blame but myself. And then for me to meditate on it and then take a different approach as to how I need to accomplish that.
Wow.
Those are the advantages, I would say, of owning your own company. The disadvantage of it is sometimes, you have some clients that regardless to how much you work and how hard you work, there's always something that's wrong. And I think that's a common in some people. But as far as me looking at everything else, I don't really see a big disadvantage of owning your own company, because when I left, when I was working for another company, I said, what they put in place for me, I'm going to put in place for me.
Nice.
And I did that.
Nice.
So I don't really have a lot of regrets. As I said, I don't have a lot of stress. And I looked at life in a realistic way. I looked at life in terms of a budget. What is it that I can afford and cannot? And I made sacrifices so that I could accomplish goals, and I did.
Well, congratulations on doing a marvelous job. 30 years of success of Complete Booking Services. Congratulations. What an honor it has been to speak with you on Ingrid's World. You are the role model, And,
Oh,
and thank you so much for being on the show.
thank you for allowing me the opportunity to be on the show. And it is an honor. And thank you again for just allowing me to be me and to talk about my business.
Well, my inspirational quote is from Oprah Winfrey. Everyone has a calling, and your real job in life is to figure out as soon as possible what that is, who you were meant to be, and to begin to honor that in the best way possible for yourself. Thank you so much for watching the show, and I'm totally grateful for your support. Connect with me on Facebook at Ingrid's World, or follow the show on Ingrid's World VA and Twitter and Instagram. And if you miss an episode, you know what to do. You can watch the show on Ingrid's World LLC on YouTube or ingridsworld.org. Thanks for watching.